I think for many people who live in St. Paul and who've seen the highway and who've lived near it, and in many places where things like the highway exist and have existed for such a long time, it feels like a kind of a permanent fixture on the landscape. And this is just how it is. And so it's very difficult to conceptualize or imagine something different, like a land bridge over I-94, right in the center of Rondo. But like you've said, this is a really important tool for kind of reuniting the community. And I was wondering, from a more practical sense, what should we visualize as this land bridge being used for? What will be on top? You've talked about the importance of affordable housing, the importance of green space. Where do you see the investment coming for infrastructure over the land bridge? And where does the community want that to be?
Right. Well, where we are in the process is trying to figure out what we want. What we're hearing from the community is desired in terms of aspirations to go on top of a structure, right? I had mentioned the feasibility study much earlier. The feasibility study says we can put the potential of 576 housing units. Mm-hmm. Now, that's amazing. And one of the things that I really want to note is no other project in the country is thinking like this.
Right, yeah.
So really, St. Paul is leading around this idea of recapturing land, because nobody's making new land. I just want to be clear about that. Nobody's making land, right? But we are creating new land for the potential of 576 housing units. We are creating new land for the potential of 13 acres of public park space. If we can imagine an outdoor amphitheater, if we can imagine a business marketplace, if we can imagine a museum or cultural center, I mean, all of these things are absolutely possible on the structure, but we won't know exactly how large the structure. Right now, we're anticipating 21 acres, right, of new land. But we still have much more community input so that we can make sure that we're hitting on the aspirations that the community actually is looking for. But just imagine maybe a 5 or 6 block tunnel as a way to visualize it. But also, I can't emphasize this enough. Wouldn't it be great that you could get everything that you need in a 15-minute walk or 5-minute bike ride, in addition to a transit system that's affordable for folks as well? So it's not just about a tunnel and the cars, but it's about also how do you create an environment where your clinic, your grocery store, right? Your churches, your education, right? Your cultural centers. I mean, just think about that. That's the way Rondo was before the freeway came through.
Exactly.
And the freeway made it not so.
Right.
And I just want to add to what Rafi said about, it's difficult to conceptualize projects like these because when you think about development, investment, does not benefit the community. And, it's just, this is kind of the first one of it's going to be for the community. So it's kind of,
yeah, I had mentioned a little bit earlier. I mean, a lot of the things that we're doing are pretty unique and pretty new ideas. They're really out of the box thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's hard to have the answers to everything right now. It's still early in the process. But what we know, as we've said, that there has to be a primary beneficiary, the secondary beneficiary, and a tertiary beneficiary. From our standpoint, the community must be the primary beneficiary. If the community is the developer, then we know exactly what the aim is and what the target is. If we said the community was a secondary beneficiary, we'd approach it differently. But we say the community's got to be a primary beneficiary.
Right. And that's really it. It's so important to know, how is this land bridge going to benefit the community? Not the newcomers coming in, but the original descendants of Rondo. How is it going to be for them? So this is really important.
You've really emphasized it. When we imagine this newly created land and the potential of 576 housing units, one of the things that the feasibility study says is that it has the potential of increasing residents to about 1,000. Now, imagine we've created an African American cultural enterprise district. Thinking about the future, who do you think wants to live there? the people in which the place reflects.
Right.
That's like any community. The German community has its community. The Hmong community has its community. East African communities, right? We're celebrating all this diversity, right? But we can't answer this question. Where's the African American Enterprise District, Cultural District? It was Rondo.
Right.
Yeah.
So by replacing the opportunity for African Americans to have things reflect who they are, I think it's the right thing to be doing, while also connecting with other communities, because we're a very diverse community overall.
Right. Well, we are nearing the end of the final episode of this season of the Voices of Rondo Youth Council podcast. I wanted to thank Rafi for joining us in from college on Zoom. I wanted to thank Keith for being on here with us, and
thank you for being here. We really look forward to this date and can't wait to start on the next season.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to say one more thing, okay? And that is, there's nothing more powerful than youth leadership. And you've all demonstrated not only your own curiosity and exploration of this particular project, Reconnect Rondo is leading, but you've done your homework across the country. And we appreciate your leadership and the fact that you're speaking to your peers in the community about how important this is for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're getting it off there? Thank you for watching our podcast. If you like what you see, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and click that notification bell to get notified when we put out new podcast episodes.